Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Y'all come on into Lisa Live Ministry this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Praise God. It's cold. It's cold. And we don't know what we're going to expect. We don't know what God's going to do. But we're going to stay in position and we're going to stay in place. Amen. Good morning. Welcome to Lisa Live Ministry. We've been doing a series about how to deal with toxic people. So this is series 3. I thought I'd be through with it by now, but I have not. You know, I'm a very busy woman. I be going, but I'm still standing to the throne of grace in God's word. A lot of us, don't understand about toxicity. And then a lot of people like to make up excuses about it or justify it. There is no justification. All right, if they topped it, they just topped it. No justification. That's what's wrong now. We justify stuff too much. There's no justification. If you topped it, you just topped it. Point blank. Let's get some healing. All right, it takes healing. I want to talk about the addict, and I'm gonna kind of browse through some of this. Okay, addicts are crazy makers, raising a dust cloud of chaos and confusions wherever they go. All right, people suffering from substance abuse disorder or any other type of addiction would say and do nearly anything to cover their need and their actions. And that is so true. And not only would they do that, but they would also have other people persuade other people to cover it for them as well. That's why you got so many instigators. They don't know how to stay in their lane. They're all over the lane, just like a railroad track. They just love to instigate stuff. People ain't got time for that in 2025. I'm going to be real with you. You either be straight up, straightforward, or fall off. Point blank, period. They would distort the truth and invent false reality. This often leaves others disoriented and unsure if maybe they themselves might be the ones with the problem. See, people nowadays like to play a lot of mind games on you. It's not trick or treat anymore. It's mind trick. They like to play that's why you have to ask God to protect your mind, renew your mind. That's our motto on Lisa Live Ministry. Welcome to Lisa Live Ministry. Renew your mind. Because people all the time, no matter where you go, no matter who it is, no matter who you come encounter with, you got to watch them and be observant because they love to play tricks on your mind. All right, when their mind is all over the place, their mind is static, like their hair sticking up on their head, but they still want to play mind games on you. Stop letting people do you like that. Learn to protect your mind. Addiction Anonymous plot out the next encounter with their addictions, fearful and unsure of either the certainty of future occurrence or its ultimate effectiveness. They live lives of uncertainty, which becomes stubborn and overly communicated to others. Friends and family. You got to watch your friends and families. Friends and family members of addictive also live uncertainly, unassured what the next crisis will be and what it will require. That's why we have to learn how to activate our faith. Faith over fear. We have to activate our faith in the Lord. Those in a relationship with someone struggle with addiction end up struggling with themselves as their lives become entangled with the consequences of that addiction. An addiction is a devastating cyclone of a traumatic event and behaviors that can uproot and unhinge relationship, causing damages well into the future. And that's why that's why some of the people have to go get counseling. Because they done got themselves messed up or caught up with a toxic person. Just like I said before, look at how your life was before you got entangled with somebody that was toxic. You could think better, you could breathe better, you could remember things better, you can do things better. Y'all, I'm telling you, these people, these toxic people with these toxic behavior, these people is devil. They are the devil. They are the devil. Point blank, period. To make matters even more difficult, it's often hard to detect when someone is in the grips of an active addiction. And that's because addicted are extremely skilled at covering up and hiding their problem. You got some people, they know how to cover up things. They know how to hide different things from you. All right? And they can be sitting right up under your nose and still can hide stuff from you. All right? They know how to hide their problems. Even from those that live with you. You might convince yourself that you could tell if someone drinks too much or use drugs, or gamble compulsively, but often you can't because people have a way of doing things behind your back. They'll start off doing it behind your back. All right, no matter what it is, they'll start doing it behind your back. And then sooner or later, it'll come in front of your face. And most of the time when it comes in front of your face, you know, you kind of dangling that thing a little bit. You know, it start doing damage. Sometimes what you notice are the consequences of the addictive behavior, such as an erratic decision making, unreliability. They get irritated. All right, they so dramatic, mood swings, and they're so dishonest and so disrespectful. You know something is not right. In fact, very wrong. But you might not understand what is going on. That's a lot of times we say, what's going on? What's wrong with such and such? Well, all of a sudden, now they've been doing it. They've been doing it. You just didn't know about it. You see, because addiction is such a complex issue. I recommend you read one of the resources on addiction listed at the back of this book. And a lot of times, we just don't really do the research. We don't research people. We get to know people, and there it is. We go on with people. See, but people is very deceiving. Some of them, not all of them. These descriptions of toxic people show the range of problems they can cause you. It's no wonder you feel vexed. And hopefully now you have a deeper understanding of how these individuals create trouble and how to identify toxic people in your life. Let's now turn our attention on chapter 2 to why difficult people got to be so challenging. All right. I'm gonna read this to you. Now, I got somebody coming over, so if I have to stop, I have to come back on. Let's tell the tell signs of a toxic person. First, the good news is the world is full of honest, kind-hearted, well-adjusted people. And that's a blessing. Now, the bad news is there are also plenty of people who manipulate, they lie, and they cheat. And you can avoid lots of trouble by knowing what to look out for. And here are 11 warning signs of a toxic person. Number 1, you might want to take you some notes. You might want to take you some notes if you can't keep this in your head with renewing of your God fear mind. Number 1, truth telling is not a high priority. Even slight variance on what you know to be the truth or carefully omission of facts is enough to put the person on the watch list. They don't believe in telling the truth. They know how to tell the truth, but they hold back the truth. Telling the truth is not one of their priorities. All right? So the truth telling is not a high priority for them. They'll ride them lies out until they start believing their own lies. Number 2, a lack of emotional intelligence. All right? They have a lack of emotional intelligence. The term paralyzed the well-known concept of intelligence, highlighting the idea that the emotional is an essential for successful relationships. But they lack that. All right, they have the ability to manage emotions, connect with others using verbal and nonverbal communication, express empathy, use the humor to deal with challenges and resolve conflicts positively. But toxic people lack these vital skills. So they have the lack of emotional intelligence, and their truth telling is not a high priority in their lives. Number 3, the person talks way too much and listens way too little. Dominating the conversation often signal insecurity, self-centered, and they also what they call those narcissism, whatever, however you pronounce that. Number 4, he or she always need to be right. All the time, they need to be right about everything, like they just know. You know, they the palm reading people that can read your palm, can read and tell your future. They know everything. All right, he or she always want to be right about everything, no matter how big or small the top it is. The toxic individual doesn't allow room for different opinions and turns a discussion into a debate that must be won. These are people that's toxic. That's why you have to be careful about the conversations and people that you really talk to. You know, some people in this year you're going to have to turn off instead of turning on. All right, number 5. There's constant drama in their lives. Constant drama. They just drama kings and queens. They love a lot of drama. Some people attract and may be need consistent series of crisis, conflict, and clamor. They seem to thrive on having a big personal mess to clean up and feel uncomfortable with a calm routine. They're about that drama all the time. They're about that drama. They're worse than the soap operas. They love drama. If ain't no mess of drama going on in their lives, ain't nothing going on in their lives. All right, they feed off of that. Number 6. There are signs of addiction or dependency. If left unaddressed, compulsive behavior involving alcohol, drugs, gambling, pornography, and other addictive things is sure to damage many aspects of the individual's life, including your relationship. Number 7. Conversation is salty and I think that word is sarcasm. That word is sarcasm. The conversation. It say they comment, cutting humor, even if you aren't the target. Signal lack of empathy, a need to prove superior. Now, right? The person has a victim mentality. They have a victim, V-I-C-T-I-M mentality. All of his or her problems are someone else's fault. They're always blaming somebody else about their problems. They're always pointing their fingers about somebody else. So all of her or his problem are someone else's fault. Unreasonable boss, unloving parents, lousy roommate, or the government. Constantly blaming, shifting, usually demonstrates a lack of personal responsibilities. Number 9. Service workers are treated poorly. They are very rude, insensitive behavior toward restaurant servers, dry cleaners, store clerks, and reveals an ignorant attitude. Talk to people. Number 10. They are very ignorant. Very ignorant. They don't have no kind of integrity about themselves, nor intelligence. And that don't mean they're stupid or they're not smart, but they don't use it in a God-fearing way. They use it in an ignorant way. They got a bad attitude. Number 10. His or her story seems gruesome. This says aggravation about accomplishments, acquaintance, and adventure demonstrates a need to brag, which is a sign of shaky self-esteem. Number 11. The person tries to control you. But this is one thing I hate. The person tries to control you in every way. They're going to find some kind of way to try to control you. You know, let me tell you one thing. We don't need nobody controlling us. If it ain't God controlling us, we don't need nobody that's controlling us. Talk to people tries to control you. All right? If you feel pressure to act and think according to someone else's wishes rather than your own, you are in the presence of a hazardous material zone. So they always want to control you in some kind of way. You know, and I don't know why people like to do people like that. But they're tactic. These are telltale signs of a toxic person. Number 1, truth telling is not a high priority. Number 2, lack of emotional intelligence. 3, the person talks way too much and listens way too little. Number 4, he or she always needs to be right. Number 5, there's constant drama in their lives. Number 6, these are signs of addiction or dependency. Number 7, conversation is salty with sarcasm. Number 8, the person has a victim mentality. Number 9, service workers are treated poorly. 10, his or her story seems grand soul. Number 11, the person tries to control you. I don't like that. You know, people don't want to be controlled, y'all. All right? People just do not want to be controlled. Why is toxic people are that way? Well, a lot of times, toxic people are broken themselves. They are broken. All right? They are broken. They you know, it's something wrong with them. It starts with their minds. You know, it starts with their minds. I'm trying to move around a little bit. The ground rules and guidelines. There's a common response among people faced with toxic behavior. And this section will go in search of some possible answers to that question. Before we start digging, however, it's important to put a few creative places, just put something there to help keep what we learn in a proper perspective. I'm trying to go on to some more details. And I'm going to tell you something else. People that's very toxic and they're rooted toxic, they enjoy it. They enjoy what they do. They enjoy seeing you bleed. They enjoy seeing you with a headache. They enjoy stealing your joy from you. They enjoy the pleasure of it. They really enjoy what they're doing. You have to get away from that. And true behavior runs in their family. All right, true. It said right here, they enjoy it. We might as well start with the least comfortable scenario. That there really are mean-spirited people in the world who takes preserved pleasure in exercising the power to make your life miserable. They have developed a genius for knowing exactly where your buttons are and how to push them in the most disturbing way possible. So, toxic people are mean-spirited people. You know, they thrive on making your life miserable as hell. And that's why you got to get away from the type of people. Don't bother me with that foolishness. I ain't got time for that. Number 2, toxic behavior runs in their family. Mess runs in their family. That bad behavior runs in their family. It says when Aaron chose to a major in psychology in college, she had no idea her education would begin the moment she moved into the dorm room. And Aaron's roommate, Marshall, has already arrived and was settled in like a dense gray fog of permission. So, you can have a roommate with a toxic person. People just, it's just a form of witchcraft spirit. It's the form of the devil. It's just bad behavior. But I don't know why people is like that. But you got some, that's why in my spirit man, I wrote down a good-hearted person has no business being with a toxic person. If you're a good-hearted, you kind-hearted, you loyal, and you got compassion, and you truly love telling the truth, and you believe in doing people right, you have no business being with a toxic person, y'all. You can't change these people. This stuff is rooted in them. And I mean, it's a generation of curse that came from family to family. So the toxic behavior runs in their family. Number 3, they drive some benefits from toxic behavior. They love it. They love the mess. They can't live without the mess. They can't live without being toxic. Safety and control is not one of their issues. Underlying the behavior of many toxic people is a deep sense of insecurity. The belief that the world is a hostile place always is on the verge of overwhelming their grip of life. From them, fear of losing or being left behind is a constant companion. See, these people, they always want to be in control, because if they can be in control, they feel safe. That's their safe net. That's their safe place. Attention. Some of them thrive on attention. Early childhood psychologists will tell you that a tolerant negative attention is often preferable to being ignored. A toxic person is often deeply wounded, but has been unable for some reason to express their pain and take responsibility for how it affects them. So they feel that no one listens or cares. Think about the underlying fear and insecurity in the last point. So they thrive on attention. They got to have it. They don't care who they get it from either. So toxic people become captured by the idea that their survival needs can only be met at someone else's expense. It's a mess. Winning by any means necessary. They want to win. They don't care. So for a toxic person, winning is everything, which makes a fair contest unthinkable. So, they don't care how they win, y'all. Winning by any means necessary. They never emerge from emotional adolescence. All right? Seasoned parents might look at some traits and behavior common to toxic people. Selfishness, making everything about themselves. Addiction to drama. A tendency toward victimhood, and think the describe most teenagers. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that being an adolescent, adolescent, makes you toxic. Why? Because we understand that these traits are developed stages as we all pass through on the road to maturity. We expect that kind of behavior and have mechanism in place to help our kids emerge on the other side, knowing how to choose and maintain healthy relationships. But for a toxic person, winning is everything to them. All they want to do is win. So they are compensating from an underlying mental or emotional issue. They got problems, y'all. It's mental. It's very disturbing. And they still feel like they don't need no help. So they have a underlying mental or emotional issue. Number one, chronic depression and anxiety. Number two, personality disorder, including paranoia, schizophrenia, that narcissism, obsessive, compulsive disorder, among others. Number three, disturbing mood, got mood changes. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, unresolved trauma, stress, addiction, hypertensivity, insomnia, unresolved emotion issues such as anger, guilt, shame, and fear. So these people got problems. They got problems. Colossians 3:14 says, all these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. That's Colossians chapter 3:14. Read it for yourself. All right, then Luke chapter 6, verse 27 and 28 says, but to you who are listening, I say, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you, and pray for those who mistreat you. Oh, Lord. Okay, Father. So, then it talks about 10 signs that you're being manipulated. I might get through with this. Number 1, you're always the one who is wrong. Number 2, you get the silent treatment. Number 3, you feel like a power struggle is underway and your power is in short supply. Number 4, the person turns on the charm to gain some advantage towards you or to you. Number 5, the person acts like a mirror or a victim. Number 6, you are sent on frequent guilt trips. Number 7, it implies or says that you are selfish when you don't submit or agree to them. Number 8, the individual denies comfortability. Number 9, manipulators minimize your problems or concern. All right? And number 10, the person will frequently withhold from you, no matter what it is. So break free from the trap of toxic people. I'm going to stop right there because, like I said, I have somebody coming over here for just a minute. So I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to have to come back on, and we're going to talk about breaking free from the trap of toxic persons. All right? So y'all see that, and I want you to go back over this and take you some notes if you want to. I have to. But you see that toxic people are sick people. They sick. And for years and ages, we've been really getting mad with them, and we've been hammering them, and we've been saying different things, but you really see that they are sick-minded people. Toxic people are sick-minded people. Anytime somebody needs to be controlled over somebody else, there's a problem anyway. You see? So, maybe they didn't get the attention, and some of them just attention seekers. They don't like rejection. They want all the attention. You know, and I don't know, like I say, this stuff really goes deep in families, and it goes deep in people's childhood. It's something happened. It's something triggered them to be this way. You know, it could have been rejection. It could have been them not feeling love, you know. And it's so many addictions, you know, gambling addiction, sex addiction. You know, any kind, you see people love to have sex all the time. You know, and if they can't get it from you, they'll hurry up and go out there and get it from somebody else in the streets. All this stuff, y'all, is bad behavior. They don't even believe in telling the truth. They know the truth, but they won't tell it. You know, and it's all about them. It's got to be all about them. And all they want to do is just win, win, win. They don't care how they win. And most of the time, they don't win fair. They don't win fair because they're not going to treat you fair. They are really not good-hearted people. They are mean-spirited people. They are people that just don't care. They don't care. They are selfish people. They are very inconsiderate people. You know, they don't have a good heart. They don't. They don't. They don't have a good heart. They don't have companions. They don't care who it is. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care if it's somebody close to them or it's somebody away from them. It could be a mother, a dad, a sister, a brother, a spouse, a cousin. They don't care. Co-workers, family members, they don't care. It could be a neighbor. They don't care. All they want is what they want, when they want it, how they want it. They don't care. They love that control because that control make them feel that they're on top of the world when they don't realize they're going down in the dungeon of hell. But they don't see it that way. And so a lot of toxic people have pushed a lot of people out of their way. A lot of toxic people have pushed good people away from them. Because what the good people going to do, the good-hearted people, the good kind people, they're going to start observing them. They're going to start doing research on them. They're going to start studying them. They're going to wonder, why is they like that all the time? And they're going to sit back and they're going to study, watch their pattern. Because toxic people, they have a pattern. They have a pattern what they do. If you watch, it's a pattern. It's a pattern. It's a pattern. Because they're going to do the same pattern all the time. It's just they might just change up on the people that they're using. They're manipulators. They will be right up under. They can sit right up under you. And you still won't know what they're doing. That's why people that's doing a lot of texting, you better ask God for a discerning spirit. Because they'll sit right up under you and they'll be texting. And you don't know what they texting to that person they texting. And they always want to get with people just like them. They're going to get with somebody just like them, whether somebody in their family just like them, or it's somebody else, a friend just like them. You know, they might even get with a spouse just like them. But they want to get with somebody just like them. And then the people that try to stay with them, they tear you down. They tear you down. See? And so that's why I say, when you see people like this, and you done sat back and observe them, and then they try to get over on people that they think that they can outsmart or smarter than them, so they think. But if you learn to sit back and you start researching them, observing them, watching them, you see, and praying for them as you pray to the Lord to give you strength, you can uncover a lot of things dealing with toxic people. And you ain't got to go too far to uncover it. God will reveal it to you. If you sit at the throne of grace, sit in the presence of the Lord at his mercy seat, God will reveal it to you. And I doubt if you call their names out to the throne of grace, God gonna show you the inside of these people. From the inside, outside. He's gonna show you their spirit. Now, when he shows you the spirit, you've got to recognize, you got to acknowledge it. All right? When you don't justify anything that God shows you. When he shows you those spirits, that's just the way it is, y'all. You got to accept it. Well, I love John Doe, Sally Sue, and Jimmy John. But I see that John Doe, Sally Sue, and Jimmy John is toxic. I've watched them for many years. I've studied them. I've observed them. Close up and far away, near and far. And I see that John Doe, Sally Sue, and Jimmy John have the same pattern all the time. They just deal with different other people, but the pattern is the same. It's the same. Because y'all, they're toxic. And some people, they just love drama. They love confusion. They love debate. They love mess. If they don't have that going on, they don't have anything going on. Some people just don't like peace. They don't want peace. They don't acknowledge the peace. They don't sleep in peace. They raise up in hell. They always is very hellified. And if they don't watch themselves, they go into a burning hell. Let me go.